No, we haven't got a tier list because James has been too lazy to sort out a tier list.
Oh, okay. So it's essentially just a live.
Just a live, isn't it?
Okay.
Because James...
Welcome to Toffee.
We have been asked to do a biscuit one, and I could get a biscuit one up that's already pre-made.
A biscuit one.
Emma's been asking for it for weeks.
Hey, listen, if you want to arrange a biscuit tier list now, that's up to you. I can't tell you that you're doing it wrong. It's entirely up to you, Hammers. So it's up to you. This is your domain on
You'd have to like sort it all out.
You're the main man on a Tuesday.
Will you get enough?
Know what I mean?
Where do you get the feedback quick enough though? Or have you already got the feedback?
Not from the audience. It'd be a public one, so you'd see what the average thoughts are, not what our fans thinking.
Feels like then we might be wasting a rushed biscuit tier list, doesn't it?
Just leave it.
Do you know what I mean?
What I feel like
we'll have a tier list Thursday. How about that?
Okay.
Then
rather than round the
tower.
Round the jag. Belter.
So tier list Thursday this week. Look out for it.
Selling it as a thing. Fair play.
Keep the people coming back for more.
Fair play then, James. You keep that going. you produce stuff. But this is your day, Tuesday. Tuesday's you're like the main man on a Tuesday. It's your gig. So you tell us what.
I have a question. I asked Ped yesterday that I'd be interested to see what your sort of reply is towards it. And we were talking a lot about Tierno Barry and sort of how he fits into Everton. And we were talking about, having a development striker at Everton. Has it ever really worked? Someone that we just keep at the club and, they have sort of like the few minutes and then they get into the next level. And the only real one you can think of is Calvert-Lewin. Well, at least that in my sort of lifetime in a way. But when he was playing for Everton, he had like Lukaku, he had like Barkley, Morales and stuff. He was all scoring goals, so there wasn't as much pressure. Nias, Richarlison, stuff like that. So there wasn't as much pressure on Calvert-Lewin. And so with like players like Barry and even in a sense Diblin, do you think Everton are sort of a club where we can afford to have them with development, like just purely being in the squad and having a few minutes here and there? Because another thing was in the current team where you look at it, the only real ones who've sort of been young and eventually got in was like Jared Brandthwaite, who he signed, but he had to go out on loan, and that's when he came back he was sort of ready. So with Tierno, Barry and Diblin, maybe not Diblin as much because he's had Premier League experience, but especially Barry, do you think he stays at Everton, or do you think they loan him out and he gets like sort of that experience, or that sort of the thing? It's like, because you look at like Moise Keane, Ademola Lookman, Vlasic, players like them who was sort of signed at like a similar level, and none of them worked out really. Not well, at least at Everton.
I don't see where we'd loan them out, to be honest. I think you just create another issue by loaning them out, don't you? Yeah. I think the problem is Beto's inconsistent. That's the problem. If Beto was fully consistent, you knew, like second half Sunday, you knew you were getting that most weeks off him, where it's the effort and he's knocking people about a little bit and getting a bit more involved. You can build a platform from that for Barry, can't you? Really, you can manage his minutes from that. I think the problem with Tierno Barry is, and on Sunday, I think it was an Everton team problem in the first half. Not necessarily, he didn't cover himself in any glory. His touch was terrible in that first 45 minutes. But why was he isolated? He was on his own. Yeah. Everton were nowhere near him. It was only when, and it would have been really interesting actually, if Alcaraz would have just come on at half time rather than Beto. If he'd have just waited for 15 minutes, the manager, and I understand why he didn't, by the way. But it would have been really interesting if he'd have waited 15 minutes, because Beto got another 20 minutes against West Ham that he probably didn't deserve. Yeah. I think Beto was probably as not great as Tierno Barry was on Sunday against West Ham, shall we say, put it nicely. But Alcaraz on Sunday, first thing he did was win a 50-50 and went forward, fired it in and carried on running. And it was the first run someone had made from midfield. Because Ndiaye doesn't do that. Yeah. All of this playing Ndiaye in the 10, he just wants to pick the ball up and just dribble, doesn't he? He doesn't really want to, he's not going to track back and put tackles in from that centre. He does it ironically when he's wide.
because he wasn't really a part of the midfield on.
No, he was nowhere near Barry either.
Sunday.
So when it was coming into Barry to get hold of it and look for a ball to lay off, and Jai was nowhere near him. And Jai was just, I don't know what he was doing. He was as equally bad as Barry in the first half.
Yeah.
In fact, he was terrible in the first half, Illiman and Jai. Second half, he was good when he went wide. So I just wonder what it would have been like to see Alcaraz with him, because even the Wolves game when he wasn't great, Barry, in that first half, Alcaraz was playing and Alcaraz was trying to join up with them, and a few times he was giving them the ball and running. And I think that's what Barry wants. If you're looking at him, it's coming into him. He wants to lay it off and spin, but he wants a runner to go past them. And we didn't do it. We were knocking Tarkovsky twice under no pressure. Hit 2 balls, nowhere near him, high. Like nowhere near him when it could have been into his feet. You know, and all this, like, oh, you know, sorry, that's inexcusable to me. You've got to strike it onto feet, play it into his feet and get bodies round him. And we didn't. We isolated him. Dibbling was miles off it. And Jai was miles off it. So the only really outlet we had was Grealish.
Yeah.
Barry's problem Sunday, he didn't keep hold of the ball. He's not looking like he wants to get a sweat on at the moment. I think his head's down, which isn't good. Me and you were talking yesterday briefly before I went off to do the other thing. The one where Njai gave him it in the first half. That was lazy by Njai. It was lazy. It was, I don't want it, you go and do it. Yeah. Whereas Alcaraz would have carried on driving, committed the defender and then squared it, and then he'd have been in on goal. And Njai just went, I played the ball 2 yards behind him, so he had to stop. Then he had to take it, and he was faced with their quickest defender.
So it was all quick.
And then it was, he tried to speed up, and that Lacroix just come across and took it off him. Whereas if he would have driven Njai straight at the goal, Lacroix would have had to come out of position. And if he didn't, Njai was in on goal. Do you know what I mean? So the one opportunity, we had to get him in. And Njai was, in my opinion, was a bit lazy. It was almost like, you have it, you go and do something with it. And I don't think that suits him either. Yeah. So I don't think we helped him. But the basic issue I had with it was he wasn't keeping hold of the ball. When we were knocking it into him, it was bouncing off him. They can't do that in the Premier League. Yeah, it has to be.
Like the thing I had with it is that when someone looks so, he looks raw right now, doesn't he? And it, like, has there ever really been a situation where Everton have made like sort of that big money signing, like with a Dibbling, Barry? Dibbling, sort, as I said, Dibbling's different, but even as new, where we signed him and it's going to take 18 months, and then you feel like in 18 months he'll be ready, because the last one was Schmidt and that never worked out.
I don't think it would take him 18 months, though.
Do you not? No.
No, I think what you're seeing right now, and how many crosses did we put in? We put one in, and he almost got on the end of it, the one on the floor at the far post. He probably could have got there. When you watch it from behind, he's very close to it. He's going in for a tackle almost with the defender, and it just goes past his foot. Yeah. If he'd have connected and scored, everyone would be going, oh, hang on, he's got on the end or something. I think he would get better with the more games. It's whether we can afford to have him so off it.
Yeah.
It's the first time on Sunday I've looked at him and thought, you look miles off it today.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where other games, he's done some good, some bad, and you've gone.
He's done like a knife you touch or something.
Yeah, or he's won headers. Do you know what I mean? Where Sunday, he did look off it. But he was up against 3 men. They play 3 at the back. We've not played against 3 at the back yet in that manner with no one near him. And I know it sounds a bit like excuses for him, but it is. I've just listened yesterday at that overlap to all the excuses why Isak isn't doing it at Liverpool so far. New club. It's a fucking world-class striker, isn't he? You know, Florian Wirtz, 130 million. Well, he's 22. Got to give him a year at least. Well, how come our fans want to shoot down a centre-forward who's 22 coming into a new league 3 games in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing is, though, because with Mateta, I was saying as well that obviously he was allowed the time to do it, but he also had, like Elise, Eze, and even Zaha for a bit around him, who,
Well, we've got good players around him.
But
I think
there's a lot more of a reliance on him to score goals.
I think Beto's our issue, and I mean that in the nicest possible way, is that because Beto, we're not fully convinced with Beto, because we don't know what we're getting from him. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
I think if Barry had performed like he did on Sunday, every time he'd be on the pitch, you would go, he's nowhere near it. He's nowhere near ready yet.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to give him 15 minutes here and there. But he hasn't. He's shown some games. Brighton, he looked quite good.
Yeah.
Anfield, when he came on, he linked everything together. All of a sudden, Liverpool had a different threat to worry about, which Beto hadn't been. Wolves, I think, done him has hammered his confidence, by the way, getting taken off in that Carabao Cup game. But it was his own doing. It was his own doing. He wouldn't have smashed the ball against the advertising boards. The manager wouldn't have took him off at half time. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of responsibility on him. But if Beto was a sure thing, if Beto was Calvert-Lewin, say, you'd go, well, we know what we're getting off Dom, and he's experienced, his touch is good and all that. We can bring Barry on for 20, 25 minutes here and there and really let him grow in. The way Dominic Calvert-Lewin grew into it as a kid, he was able. We had Enna Valencia, Lukaku. I know, but when Koeman first brought him in, he was in and out, wasn't he?
Yeah. He got injured.
And he started against Southampton and lasted 10 minutes and was out the team. And then the next time he played from the start, he played left wing against Hull and scored his first goal. He was on the left, and I remember he was terrible, but he just ran around. Got the enthusiasm, and he gets himself on the end of a cross at the park end and scores. We're looking at Barry, or people are, and looking at him as if he's the finished article. And therefore, that's why, and we Everton almost need him to be the finished article, but he's not.
Yeah.
So it's how you...
That's what I mean. It's like it's almost like for Barry to be good, you need to sign a better striker, which is it feels sort of backwards, doesn't it?
Maybe, listen, right now, how it's working is the lad who starts the game has the poor game and the sub does better. That seems to be how it's going so far. So maybe that's what we have to do
until one
kicks in. Yeah. Maybe it's so we all expect Man City away, Beto to start, don't we?
Yeah.
And therefore he'll do an hour, won't get a kick. The manager will drag him off, and Barry will come on, and Barry will probably link the play well, and we'll go. Maybe it's Barry's turn against Spurs at the weekend.
Yeah.
And then Spurs, Barry will start, and Barry won't get it. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it feels at the moment, that it's just like whoever comes on as the sub seems to make more of an impact. That's how it feels anyway. But I just don't think we helped them on Sunday. I think we had that for the first time for a while. We had the gap where the strike, and we haven't really done that much this season. And I think Dewsbury Hall's bridged that gap quite well. And Grealish, but I think at the weekend, Cousin Jai was in there, and I don't think he sort of knew where he was playing and what he was supposed to be doing. It allowed Wharton and Kamada to get on the ball. And then there was because they had three centre-backs, LaCroix just went tight to Barry, and they had Gay and they had Richards either side, so when he tried to press, which, don't get me wrong, he had a little light jog rather than steaming around. But no matter what he did, it was never going to be good enough because Everton were getting undone with the box midfield. Because they had Yeremy Pino and Ismail Sarin. So the four of them, you had Kamada, Wharton, Sarin and Pino in the four. And then they had Munoz and they had Tyrrell Mitchell hugging the touchline, spreading the pitch. Yeah. So we had an issue in there because we had four lads getting on the ball who were interchanging quickly. And when we tried to get close, they just switched it wide. And because those players were high, O'Brien and Mikalenko didn't know whether to stick or bust, and they were getting dragged across because Sarr was tucked in. So all of us, if you look at the goal, it looks like Everton have been dragged right the way across the pitch. Because when the ball goes to Munoz,
no one's there.
He's on his own, and even Jordan's left a big chunk of goal open. Yeah. Now Pickford goes at it with his foot and gets a slight deflection on it. If he'd got a thicker contact, he might have saved it with his foot. But if you watch his positioning when Munoz gets the ball, he's almost got the whole goal to shoot at because Pickford's too far over. Yeah. But I think he's moved over with we were undone because of their sort of formation. It never really happened that much in the second half. We kind of got to grips with it a little bit. Yeah. The only real time it happened was when Week fucked up and Mateta went through and dinked it over Pickford and O'Brien, and that was us giving the ball away, trying to play out when there was no reason, and we give the ball away.
Moving quicker. They couldn't really just be as tight, and then each was getting a bit more space, stuff like that.
So I understand what your point is. I don't know how you could loan Barry out.
I know, it's just sort of what's the plan with him. Is that's what...
He's going to have to play through it, and we're going to have to, as a fan base, and people won't want to hear it, and loads of people won't buy into it at all. Mm-hmm. We're going to just have to let it play out, and we're going to have a bit of patience with him. And I've said before, he's going to need a tap-in from somewhere, but to get a tap-in from somewhere, he's going to have to get himself in the box. So I will always go back to get a striker coach in and work with the pair of them, because you might get 1% out of both of them, a bit more, but in that case, it's been worth it. It might literally be to Tierno Barry, you need to be making this run. These are the areas you have to be in. You're coming out of the play, or you're not doing this right, or you're not. So it's frustrating because you want him to be better. Of course we do. We've paid a lot of money for him, and we want him to be better. We want him to do well. Yeah. You know, the size of him, he's decent in the, as in he's capable of getting up and heading it. He's got a bit of a 50-pence head at the moment.
Apparently had the best head.
No, well, he has got the best head of Jules in Europe. So, but again, I don't remember too many decent crosses in the first half for him to go after.
It just feels like there's a lot of long balls where neither of them win it, but there's never any crosses, which is frustrating. Because even, I know Beto, it's not really his thing, but he was, as much as Ped didn't like the header, I thought it was a good header.
That was a good header. He should have scored, but it was a good header. It was powerful enough.
Even when, like, I don't know, he made his debut against Doncaster and he had that one header and stuff, you can see he's got it, but we just don't use it at all for some reason.
The cross, we've got two lads, whichever one's on the pitch, he was 6'5", centre forward, so cross the ball. Yeah. We've got the winner because Njai's just stood it up. Yeah. It's a great ball, don't get me wrong. It's again, Alcaraz at the heart of it. Lovely little ball round the side. Yeah. He stood it up. Beto's a good, powerful header. He should score, of course, he should score. The keeper's massively lucky. It bounces up, hits his kneecap and somehow comes out. Yeah. You know, he could do that 100 times, 99 times it goes in. He got lucky, and then we got lucky because Grealish has charged it down.
No, it was all skill there.
Yeah, but Beto done the right thing. Powerful header, heads it down. But he should be having 3, 4, 5 of them a game. Or Barry, or Everton should overall, have 3 or 4, 5 of them where our strikers are having headers at goal, and they don't. What did Tierno Barry have on Sunday, really? The one, the stretch at the far post, and the in-die ball behind him, and that was it. Yeah. His other bits of play, don't get me wrong, he was tearing my hair out because it's basic, knocking it into striker's chest and he can't keep it. Yeah. It's the same thing I have with Irabunum, who I thought did really well, but I was saying to you yesterday, he's half a second too slow in his decision making. He does really good stuff, knocks people out the way, skips past 3 and then goes, I've got a couple of seconds. You haven't, mate. You've done the hard bit, just pop it off. Yeah. And that was the one thing I will give Wharton credit for. In the first half, he moved the ball quickly. So when it come, he just went bink and it was gone. And we were chasing it. Second half, when Alcaraz run at him, the poor kid looked like he was in the headlights. He didn't know what was happening. And all his control of the midfield went because we just had someone who ran at him. You know, when he was uncomfortable. Irabunum, it's that quick. The same with Beto when he gets half a yard. The shot's got to be quicker. It's got to be off and hit. It can't be off. I'll wait. I'll steady myself. The chance is gone. The chance is gone. This is the thing, and this is what Barry will learn with La Liga. La Liga, you might be able to take another second, another touch to steady yourself, and he will have dominated because it isn't in La Liga. There's not loads of players who are powerful in the air, so he will have dominated that because he's decent in the air.
There's a proof of sort of that Iose Perez was his striking partnership, where he wasn't great in the Premier League before he went there.
But he's another one who drops into pockets, Perez, and he's intelligent.
No, but that's what I mean. That sort of half a second more is perfect for him, but it doesn't really work in the Premier League. No.
Well, Sorloth played 20-odd games for Palace and looked terrible. No, and went there. Dovbik, 30-odd goals for, in La Liga and gone to Rome. He's done all right, but he's not the same. Yeah. He wouldn't do it here. But my encouragement with Barry was he's got the physique and he's still young enough. Needs to be on the creatine and having 6 eggs for his breakfast because he needs to build himself up a bit more. But it's that, get hold of the ball first. As a striker, you've got to be able to keep the football. This is Beto's biggest problem, isn't it? Ball comes in, it takes him 3 touches to just get it under control.
I thought that's what he was better at though on the weekend though as well.
That's what he did.
He got the ball, he took a nice touch and got round a few players a few times.
That's it, because he went. But even he though against West Ham sort of done what Barry did the other night.
I think
jogged about.
Keep reverting,
jogged about. That's it.
It's weird. It's so weird.
Beto, I think it's more attitude. Just doesn't look up for some games. Barry's just a kid, isn't he?
Well, do you think Beto plays emotionally anyway, doesn't he?
Barry's got to toughen up.
No, he has, yeah.
Got to toughen up like
quickly.
Like as in
get on the buy-in,
it's not even that. Like mentally he might need to toughen up a little bit. Like, do you know what I mean? Just like, fucking it's hard work, mate. Okay, you got took off at half time. So what?
Get on with it, yeah.
Earning a lot of money, you know.
He should be looking at it from his perspective. Is it's a learning. The first sort of year is a learning curve. Now, this is the toughest league in the world. We know it is. It's all about. And the one thing I thought stood out again, we spoke about this last week before we'd even watched the game, was how athletic they look compared to us in the first, particularly in the first half.
3 centre-backs in our half at one point.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the writing was on the walls, didn't play out like that, but I said to you, the statement of intent was there on 25 seconds when they had the long throw and their 2 centre-backs were in our 6-yard box. And that was in the opening 20. No one really does that.
They've got a manager who's willing to risk it all. That's why I'll end up with a big job. Yeah, because that's what
risk reward,
happens.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's risk and reward, and when you've got better plays, the rewards normally higher than the risk. Yeah. That's why Klopp was the best at it. Yeah. Klopp was the best at it. He didn't give a monkeys.
Here's a question. This is off Everton a bit, but I was talking to my dad about it. And did you watch the PSG game against Barca, where they took the kick off and they just hit it up for the
the thing you started doing that now.
And my dad was saying that was like a really common thing in the 80s.
Yeah, but it was for a different reason.
What? But what is your view on just
doing that? It used to be a big thing because for the betting companies. Footballers used to kick it out because they'd have to bet on how quickly was there going to be a throw in
all fairness to Everton, no, we did that. We used to do the kick-off.
Wow.
Yellow card, throw in within the first 10 seconds. But loads of footballers won a fortune, you know.
But Iriola did that as a player, though. And he's brought that back in with Bournemouth now, which is flick it up and smash it as high as it'll go and go and get the second one because they have to deal with it. So you try to hit it as high as it'll go towards their centre-backs and rush them. Yeah. Because it puts the pressure on, and after time they edit 50 pence, it goes out for a throw in, or you can go and leave one on the centre back immediately. But a few of them are doing it now. But no, Bournemouth have done it 3 times, haven't they? Already.
I've just seen PSG do it the other day.
PSG did it the other day.
That was mental, but apparently it's a normal thing, we'd have to say.
No, but that's it now. They're starting to do it again, and it's all of those things of. It's like, what are they doing? That they're looking for that thing. So they went and got that throw, and it was hard doing. Terrible clearance in the opening 20, sliced out. And then they go and put the 2 centre-backs in the 6-yard box for a throw-in after 20 seconds. Yeah. And it was like, normally it's like, feel your way into the game, got a throw-in in there.
The team, survive the first 15.
Straight into the box, long. And they ended up having 2 of their on-target shots in the fair. And, one was a back pass, but the first one came through a ruck of players. Pickford did well to get it away from goal because it come through about 6-7 players, but that was from the long throw, and they'd had 2 shots in the opening minute on Saga, and it was from that. It's like, and then that's almost like, we're gonna put you under pressure every time. But like I said to you yesterday, the one thing I didn't get was when we had that throw in late on, why our centre back ran from one side of the pitch to the edge of their box to take a throw in when James Garner throws long. So if O'Brien's doing that, why don't you just run into the box? If we're prepared to put him out the way taking a throw, we may as well have him in the middle trying to head the long throw.
6'6" or something.
It's that kind of, I just didn't get it because James Garner's throws are just as long as Jake O'Brien's. But James Garner's not winning headers the way Jake O'Brien can win headers.
Maybe it was something like he wins the second ball.
It's a bit mad, like. Maybe it's if it gets headed back out, James Garner is on the edge of the box. I don't know, but what was good about Sunday was they kept going, didn't they? And I think for the first time, and I said this in the aftermatch stuff, that was the moment we needed. We needed that injury time winner. That was the one that sort of sealed the, Hill Dickinson Stadium, the moment that we had. We were waiting for that.
From Pino being an idiot.
Well, exactly, but it did. But Everton have always just Goodison was that, wasn't it? Yeah, Goodison was go ahead. We don't need a goal. What we need is a terrible refereeing decision or some dickhead on the pitch and step forward, Jeremy Pino, And then after that, although Charlie had already raised the volume with that, he won the first tackle after about 10 seconds of coming on, 50-50, and straight in, bang, and off he went with the ball. Once we started getting into tackles, the crowd responded. Yeah. And that noise when the noise when Njai equalised was loud. The noise when Grealish went in will have been off the scale, I imagine, because it was unbelievable. You couldn't hear yourself think.
When you leave like a nightclub or like a concert or
and your ears are ringing.
That's what it felt like leaving Hill Dickinson.
It was unbelievable. It was just crazy loud. And they've heard their players Wharton saying, that atmosphere just like turned the game.
Yeah.
Kamada was like, it was so loud when, and it turned the whole complexion of the game.
To be fair to you, though, the last time you were in Hill Dickinson, your senses were all dulled.
Yeah, you were bladdered.
That's a great time.
I mean, fair play.
I think the key is for Everton is how do we get those moments more frequently? You can't rely on last minute goals. So how do we create those moments? That's the next challenge. Yeah, is that I know the players have to do it, and that's always been the case. The players have always. Yeah. You can't always go to the crowd. Do you know what I mean? The players do have to set it with a tackle or with whatever. But I think there is occasions where the crowd have to bring that as well. And when that does happen, it did feel probably. The fit, because Brighton was really loud, but Brighton felt like a big ceremony that day. It was a celebration. We had to win it. There was a huge pressure on it because it was the first one, and we overcame that. And that's like those ticks that you have to have as a new, going somewhere else. But on Sunday, I think was the first time it felt like a Goodison game,
where it was against them,
where momentum has spun, and all of a sudden the crowd have carried the team to victory. That was the first time it's felt like that. And it's brilliant. And now we have to think, right, how can we recreate that? I don't know how we do it, but how can we create those moments where it's the crowd are loud and everybody has to join in? And if it isn't, the South Stand and the North Stand needs to start it. And the East Stand, and maybe it's just Alcaraz escape from.
We need just a mad South America.
Playing on the front foot, isn't he? Playing on the front foot. But we were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? Like, there's loads of stuff that goes into that, isn't it? Like, the atmosphere in the game was absolutely shocking at some points on Sunday. It really was. There's no point hiding from it. It was terrible. Last two games have been, in certain moments, have been absolutely dire. Just the whole place is just quiet. And we were saying there was a moment just at half time when there was no music playing and there was no noise. And I actually said to him before, I thought I died because it was so silent. It was just silence. It's just like,
what isn't silent when you die?
No, but maybe it's like peacefully quiet though. Like you're in a nice place.
You just chilled.
But you can't hear anything. That's actually happened to me before. Actually, I've actually experienced that before. No, I have genuinely experienced that before where I've been somewhere where it went really, really quiet. And I had to sort of like go,
make a noise or something.
What the hell is going on? Genuinely, I know exactly where it was and when it happened. It was the day we drew 2-2 with Arsenal and Pienaar scored the little chip, and I was in Saxterford Park and it was snowing and there was all people around me, but for about a minute it just went completely quiet, even though there was people around me, and I was like, am I dying?
You froze to death.
Have I died here? I was like, it was but like, no, it was so
was it before or after the game?
It was probably after the game. No, it'd be before, because it was a 3 o'clock kickoff, and it would have been dark, wouldn't it? And I was like,
maybe you just knew how you were gonna feel.
Like, what the hell's, or have I gone deaf?
Yeah.
If I get a bit of a skip dying, but like, have I gone deaf here?
Yeah.
It was so quiet. There was people around. It was so weird, and I felt like that at half time. No, there must be things, mustn't there? Like I was saying before, like in the lower, did they have a concourse that is like the Gladys Street lower, so that it traps everybody and everyone's together, and therefore that atmosphere is taken upstairs and then continues? Is it something where Everton maybe have to look at that and go, the South Stand lower bars the pints of ale are gonna be cheaper or something? I don't know, but I feel like everyone just gets into the ground and it's like they've all come from their own different ways and they just go in, and it doesn't help create. We haven't got that like bonding experience yet. I think people have got to be. What I did notice Sunday was there's more and more people. I think I saw it anyway. They got agitated. And it created a scenario of like just jumping up and going, what the fuck is going on? Whether it be the ref, whether it be their place, whether it be our place. And that noise just is noise. And that allows the next person to go, well, there's noise anyway. I'll jump up and go, you fucking dickhead. Whereas then when it's dead quiet.
I apologise to the fella next to me.
When it's dead, well, Charlotte before said that she connects the fella behind them. And I was like, well, you might see this and no. Anyway.
Well, at least they'll know.
Yeah, I think people,
Zach were giving it.
People need to like. I just feel like people need to like get that thing of like not not sitting. It's all new and everything, but you're not sitting in a theatre. You're sitting in a football ground. And if you want to bounce up, and even if you don't know the fella in front of you, behind your left, right, back, just jump up and call someone what you want to call them, as long as it's not, too far. As long as it's not too far. And that noise is like, it builds and it builds and it builds, and it doesn't have to be singing. Noise is enough. Like when something happens like the Pino incident, everyone will jump up and go, fire, and the next thing you'll hear is run, because that noise helps create other noise, and it builds up around the ground. And I think that's one of the things that is so impressive about the ground is that you don't have to sing. You can just create. We've talked about it loads, haven't we? You just create noise, and that noise doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't dissipate. And I think that's such an important factor. So I think more people should just be like getting up and just giving it the bifters, and that'll help.
I noticed more people stood on Sunday though.
Yeah.
Because I purposely looked on Sunday, and there was loads of stuff. Like the lower south stand, they were all stood up. And that's good. And obviously there was pure limbs when Grealish, it really was when Grealish scored back.
I did notice it. It has created that conversation has come back, hasn't it, about the lower south and the areas at the front of the lower south. That's created that conversation again, which is quite interesting.
I think you saw though the power of it on Sunday with that. I
think what we had was when Everton attacked, we started to stand up like we used to in the Gladys Street, and I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that. I like that. I like that. I like that because it's like we've all been together now 3 or 4 games. We all know, who's going to jump up, who isn't going to jump up, and you just have to anticipate it, don't you?
It's important though, isn't it? It's important to do it. You're there to play your part, aren't you? We're not there to just go and watch, are we? No. Really, it's not a theatre, is it? It's as in you're going to watch a play that is perfect, and you don't want to disturb the actors and all that. You're there to try to influence the game. That's what you're there for. You're there to make it like those Crystal Palace players said. That fucking noise, that turn the game, that stadium. Glasner said, beautiful stadium, noisy, and when they scored, there was a belief, and you could feel it. That's what That's what it's got to be like. That's what Goodison was like. Goodison wasn't go, just enjoy the game. They're a lovely crowd to play. It's not Fulham. You know what I mean? Goodison was hostile, horrible place to play football as an opposing player. And that's what this has got to be like. This has got to develop into a place where away teams don't like going. They don't like it. It can be intimidating. It's noisy. It's aggressive. Because that's Everton.
Yeah.
We're not a pretty football club. When we score, people just clap. Said it forever. Nobody celebrates a goal like Evertonians. Nobody. These clubs can come out with, oh, look at the limbs. We do that whatever the game. We're just so happy to see a goal.
Yeah.
And we almost can't believe we've scored a goal because we make it look harder than any other team in world football. So we celebrate it. Mad. And we've got to build onto it. We've had 5 games there. We're unbeaten. And that's what it's about, isn't it? 3 wins, 2 draws. You couldn't have asked for it. Well, you'd have had 5 wins. But we've had a good start moving to a new stadium. And Sunday, rather, was key in that. And it's how do we sort of foster that atmosphere? How do we get those moments, like you've said, where it's noisy? One thing I have noticed is that it does seem to be people falling into habits now. Like going and getting a drink and stuff at the weekend. There was no queue. There was no queue.
But people are still...
Not many people eating food.
People are still going down, aren't they? Like early though. Like
well,
10 minutes.
Yeah.
So where I am anyway, because it's you have to use ropes.
I did see you leave before the final whistle as well.
Yeah, the fella next to me left.
And then you see some of them run back up
I'll never.
Did people leave before we scored?
Yeah. I'll never ever get it. I'll never get it.
But I feel like is it worse if they run back and you see them come up and they have
Yeah,
to
they
wait
shouldn't be
like a
allowed.
stay a bit.
Shouldn't be allowed. Should be blocked. Should be blocked.
Make your decision now. You got to go.
You've made your decision.
You
have
can't enjoy it now.
You have to live with that for the rest of your life.
You can't stand on like the by the
They
stairs.
walked out of the Tarkovsky goal and missed that.
Yeah,
I'll never get it. I understand people will say, "Oh yeah, but if I leave early, it'll buy." It's like you don't understand. By leaving early, it saves me half an hour or whatever. Well, what are you coming to the match for then? What are you coming to the match for? I was still in the stadium at like 10 past 5. I was still in the stadium, enjoying some bants with our soon to
10
be,
past 4.
with our. No, it was 10 past 5, wasn't it?
4.
I was still at 10 past 5. With our soon to be Prime Minister, I was having bants with him
In the bar.
In the bar, yeah.
Oh, well, maybe you were there that long, sorry. We were there. I stayed till... We went down, stayed till everyone had gone, and then we went down and stood on the plaza for about another 10 minutes.
What time did the game finish?
5 past 4.
Yeah, it was 10 past 5.
Yeah, sorry,
10 past 5, we were still there. There's still loads of people.
Oh no, I've been to Costco for
That was great.
celebratory.
It was great.
Celebratory ice cream. Oh yeah, I'll never buy another food item in that ground.
No, I won't. I won't.
Disgrace.
I just had a drink. No, I'm with you. Solidarity. I'm with you. Solidarity.
I'll buy a drink, but I'll never buy.
No, I just had a coffee. And now everyone having a drink, having a chat with them.
And I still, well, for the life of me, can't understand why I can't get a coffee downstairs. Because I would literally wait another 20 minutes and load.
We can't get burgers upstairs.
People are going, "Mate, there's nothing. Can't even buy a soft drink.
Yeah.
Why is everything shut?"
Yeah. Oh, downstairs after the match? No, I don't. I'm still not getting that. If we're talking about, I'm still like they started to like kettle. Honestly, they start kettling at it like it was like 5 o'clock. So the stewards start moving people down from one end, and it's just like what they need to do is genuinely is say what time after the game the bar will be open to, and let everybody know, because people that just bought a pint and they were getting told, then oh no, you got to go down there. It's like, tell everyone what time.
Just be open.
It's open till.
Just say, look, 5 o'clock. It's done. So the game will finish around 4. The bar's open till 5, or if you want people out by then, say the bar's open till 4:45. Last orders is 4:45, and then you've got till 5 to finish your drink.
Though, honestly,
tell people
what happens, right? Honestly, so Merseyside derby. Let's say we win the Merseyside derby, right?
No one wants to go home,
right? No one wants to go home. Do Everton try and kick everyone out at an hour after, and they've leaving all that money?
But was that not the original plan that you were going to be able to stay afterwards?
No, you can't.
You saying
you can't. I can stay. I can stay in the upper, right? Because we're in that bar. So I don't understand why people in other places of the ground can't stay for like one bar being open. I find that mad.
But there's only 3 layers anyway, isn't there?
No, but what I don't get is I just don't understand how they don't say at the end of the game the bar will be open till X amount, put it on the screens. But as I said, it's like pay everyone an extra hour. So it's like if it's a derby and we win it, everyone will stay open until 2 hours after the game, or any big game where people are like, oh, I'm celebrating. The match was on the telly. City were on the telly, and people were watching the City game, like because. Everyone was like, oh, Haaland's good. Oh, I've got him in my fantasy team. He's my captain, triple, whatever. That's what that was the general. Honestly, that was the general shout. Oh, he's the triple captain and all this. I was like,
that since the first week.
And it was like, everyone was like just dead happy. And then the stewards come along, and it's like, oh.
If you tell people, have like an adult conversation, just say to people. I still, for the life of me, I can't believe that I can't stay downstairs for half an hour after the game, let everything go.
Yeah.
Get a coffee. If I don't drink, obviously, because I'm driving anyway. But if I wanted a pint, I could have, or a soft drink, and we just stand around and have a chat about it.
So there's no way you can get up to the South Stand?
I don't know. I'll be honest, right? Full disclosure, I haven't tried.
But you can't really, can you? Because you couldn't have a situation where the whole of the lower can go to the upper south. Upstairs, that can't happen. So I just find that mad. We need to talk to Everton about that.
I just don't understand. Just have one bar in the middle there and just go, this is open. Yeah. Have it all everywhere. Say like the game finished at 4. Say this bar's open till 4:30. Yeah. Right? And at 4:30 it's shut and you'll be encouraged to go outside. So if you get a pint at 4:25, you're probably going to finish it on the plaza. right? And I know, but people were drinking on the plaza.
No, but you can buy on the plaza.
The bars were on there, right?
Do the bars at the plaza stay open? You know?
Yeah.
It was open, they were open, right?
So
but,
you could carry it on out there, yeah?
Yeah, so you could just carry it on. But I'm talking about having a coffee or whatever in a bar.
Yeah.
Right? So why can't I just go down the exit and just go to that first thing?
Really,
just go, can I have a coffee? Really, 2 coffees?
Yeah, because really, if you get any kind of drink, the plaza should be considered as, so you shouldn't be able to take them out the wall.
No, not out the wall.
No, that's what I'm saying. So you should. So I think there's still those things, because as I said, we were all there. We were chatting to Andy Burnham, and we were just chatting amongst ourselves. And but we were though. We were, and I was thinking, what's going on, Prime Hour Minister? But like because I'm like that's it. I'm like that because after the last game we got off and we got stuck in traffic, and I wasn't driving, and I'll be honest, I was fuming because it took literally another 45 minutes to get my video out, and I was like, can we all? So I was doing my video, and they go, "Whoa, going downstairs." And I was like, "Yeah, go downstairs.
Go and have a drink.
Go and get the drinks in." Because I was like, I'm going to get this filmed. It got me 8 minutes. Yeah, stewards, leave me alone, please. I started to got it filmed, got it edited, and got it out while I was in the bar.
Yeah,
and I was like, this is all I want.
That's what you want.
This is all I want. I just want the Wi-Fi so I can get my video out, and it'll do numbers.
I couldn't get on the Wi-Fi.
See, I find that weird that you can't. I never have. Do you know what though? Know what is hilarious? Genuinely is hilarious. I have a Wi-Fi box underneath my seat as well.
Yeah.
I have a Wi-Fi box. No, but I can get it. I can get on the Wi-Fi as soon as I walk in the stadium. Does it not come up as an option?
Everton free Wi-Fi.
You do know that you have to go on, and then it takes you to another page. Okay.
I have been on it. I just couldn't get on Sunday.
Twice.
I'll be honest, it works too well for me. At times. No, but I can upload, and then I upload my video. I'm doing the thumbnails. I can get it all done just within
while you're having a drink.
While it's all out, and that's perfect for me. And the traffic settles down.
Because when you go out that ground, you can't get out the wall. It's dangerous trying to get out because there's three.
I've never been out that early.
It's mad. Honestly,
I've never been out
it's
that
mad,
early.
right?
Yeah.
So we just went out and stood against. Now that's great. It was windy on Sunday, but it wasn't cold, was it? It wasn't cold, so it was okay. I ain't going out there when it's pissing down. No. I'm staying in the ground because I'm not going to go and stand and try to get through the hole in the wall to get out. And then you walk down, then you're literally like shuffling across that bridge. Do you know what I mean? So there is.
I've been given some news about the stadium, but I'm not allowed to say to anyone. It's top secret. Top secret.
Unless they're ripping it down and starting again.
I'll tell you later. But it's top secret. I'm not allowed to say anything to anyone.
But I just hope that they do just open one bar, surely. Because I think a lot of people would grab a coffee or something. You're thinking, well, there's some more money there. Do you know what I mean? But I could make a bit more money. I don't understand it.
This is what I don't understand, right? So it was my niece's first game at the stadium. She's only 7. She only stayed till half time. And, if she wants to go home, she's going home. That's just the way it is. It's daughter and daddy day. She wanted to go to the match. She went to the match. She got a donut. My dad bought her food and stuff like that. I was like, "Why are you back?" And she was like, "No, because she wants to come in and she wants to experience it. She wanted to be here. No issues with that." So you've got all that. You've got all the kids in there, and she got bored, went home. But it's just like it's what I don't get like that. They went to get a burger, right? And the fella was like, "We don't sell burgers." So, but nowhere, unless we've got to go right to the other end, which is stupid. If you've got a 7-year-old with you, but if you've got a 7-year-old with you, but we don't have. So downstairs there's a burger place. We don't have that upstairs. We don't have a burger place upstairs. We don't have. I've asked the question, and the club were like, basically, it's like, so there's stuff on the bottom floor that we've got that we haven't got, and the stuff that we've got that you haven't got, and that doesn't make any sense because we can't go on those floors. It should be the
same on every floor.
And on the family section, they've got stuff like a pizza place that we haven't got, and it doesn't make any sense. It should be like each level should have something, everything. Sorry, and each one should have a bar that they can go to. And I know they've made a big deal of the South Stand-Upper bar, the Riverside bar, or whatever they call it. I get all that, but that doesn't help you. No, it doesn't help you right now, where you're forced outside, and like you just said, if it's pissing down with rain, you've got two choices: stay in the stadium and not have anything, or go. No, I'm going now. put your coat on and you're gone. You haven't got that extra choice. And I find that just really strange.
And I can't get out that quick
No,
because there's
and
that
that's
many
it.
people.
So I find that really strange. And we always said, and they've said to us, we want to encourage people to get in early and stay later. But I'm not really seeing like this, a lot of I'm seeing like a halfway thing of like, you can stay, but you're not getting anything. And then upstairs, it's a bit like, well, you can stay, but you've only really got 45 minutes. And it's like...
But tell people, though.
Yeah.
Tell people, if you tell me I've got half an hour after the game to get a coffee and that's it, I understand, don't I?
Yeah.
I can stand for 10 minutes in my seat, clap the players off, whatever. Everyone can disperse. I can go downstairs and grab a coffee. But I know what time I have to be downstairs by. Just tell people, we've got all the electronic boards. You're telling me they can't have a clock up there telling you when they're closing or whatever, you know what I mean? Try it. Trial it. If they go, listen, I'm not being funny, 8 people bought a drink after the game, it's not worth staying open for.
But that's not going to be the case, is it?
No, is it? There's no way it is,
there's
mate.
Absolutely.
Because people are just stood outside like that. They're not stood outside going, I'm just going to stand here. They're looking, going, we can't get through. Because Goodison was there and people dispersed from every direction, didn't he? Here, everyone, there's only one way out the place. So I've never gone down while there's been people in the ground, really. I'm talking like a handful of people. There's never been players on the pitch. There's none of that stuff. Even when we've lost, whatever, we haven't lost there, but, you know, whatever it is, I've gone down when there's been about 26 people in the stadium. So I've given it enough time, and I've gone down, I'll go to the toilet, I'll go and wash my hands, people grab me, talking, people are grabbing pictures or whatever, having a chat about things. So it's not like I'm making my way outside 5 minutes after the final whistle. And when we go out, we look and go, they're still queuing to get out the wall. So we're like, I'd go and have a coffee, get Zach a drink. We could sit or stand and have a talk about the game. There's 6 of us who were in our sort of group there. We'd all, the lads to chat, you know, whatever. And there's just nothing. There's no option to get it. And I just don't get it because there's a lot of people around. You step outside the gate and everyone's just stood around going, I'm not queuing out to get out the game, to get out of the wall. So surely those people would go, you know what, I might have a coffee there. Or I might have a cup of, or whatever.
I think this stuff just needs to be fed back into the club because there's stuff that can easily be done. And it's just a case of them going, let's leave that bar open, or let's leave...
One bar.
Let's leave whatever open, or 2 bars, one at each end.
That's it, yeah. And just go, there you go. You can get you on a drink and a coffee. It's open for half an hour after the game. That's all it needs to be. 30 minutes. If it's a 3 o'clock kick-off, that bar shuts at 5:15. And the game might finish till 5.
And also, I think, do you know what? When it goes dark, like when it's dark after the game,
exactly, yeah.
People are. It's more like, I know that the temptation is to say, well, more people will just want to go home, but I think it's the opposite because the streets around there are so dark.
How are you gonna? You're not.
You can't see. You can't.
No.
Like we clipped the other day. When we were leaving the West Ham game, we went up the street next to Titanic. And there's two of the streetlights are out. It's pitch black. It's terrible. The council need to do something about it.
And it's shocker as well.
And if you go across the bridge, you can't actually see your feet. You can't see your feet.
See, I told you this the other night. They had the floodlights on the way to the game. At 7 o'clock, we were walking across that bridge. And on the way home, at 10:15, the floodlights were off.
Yeah, it's mad.
So there was some lights on, but you couldn't see. It was pitch black on the floor. You could just see people, but the big bright lights that were down at your feet walking were switched off. I was like, why are they off now? Yeah. Like, they didn't need to be on the way there. Yeah, so, it was still sort of a bit light, and there was lights on. Coming home, it was pitch black, and the lights were off. Like,
it is a bit weird. Like, it's just...
What's going on? I'm not blaming Everton for that, but someone's to blame on that bridge, aren't they? Is it the council?
It's the council.
Is it the police? Why?
Those not lights... the police. You don't see police anyway.
No, but there was 5 police stood by the floodlights. There was none. And they weren't on.
What's the point of the police horses now?
To, like, because they are intimidating. You can put people where they...
You can move people, can't you?
Move people where they want to go. You can see them. You can't always see police, can you? When there's a big crowd, horses and...
On the other hand, it does feel like home now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Someone asked me about it yesterday. We were like,
I still think,
does it feel weird going? I was like, no, not really.
The actual seats bit needs a bit more Everton in it. I don't know how, but it looks like,
I'll tell you what I hate, and I do hate this, where the disabled bit is at the bottom of the south stand. I think, if you're going to leave it the way it needs to be painted blue.
Yeah.
When you look at that south stand, you should only see blue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They still feel like they might have done that a bit differently. Especially just on that end the way it is. But make that blue, please. Yeah. Because if you take out the concrete bits, it becomes even better than what it is. And I'm loving although they leave it off for 1 second, but the Archibald leaks.
They left it on Sunday. They'd listened again. They'd listened.
Yeah, but it should have been longer.
No, it should literally be from the moment the team walk out till like a couple of minutes into the game. Forget the sponsors. That should make you feel like home having that on. And Everton needs.
Seen the ones in the corner, those lads who've got their own little flag. They're doing their own. It's about I
think in the summer, I think there's going to be a lot of changes in that ground. I think they're going to take everything they've learned from this season, and I think there's going to be lots of changes. I think I could see them maybe that club view might get binned.
Yeah.
I could see that getting binned. There's loads of stuff. I mean, I said yesterday we need to have a chat about the tickets situation. I find it astonishing that how many people want to go to the match, and yet there's still lots of seats available. And it doesn't. I've said this it doesn't matter whether it's 1,000 short. I don't understand how every game's not being a sellout. I really don't. It should be. If Seat Unique can't be charging 400 quid for an Everton game, it's just never going to sell. No. There's just not that.
And they're idiots.
There's just not that much demand. We don't have that much demand. So it shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't happen. And what's also annoyed me a little bit is I don't know if you've seen this. You probably haven't seen it because obviously you don't go on social media that much. But I've seen a few people who are not Everton fans, and it's like, you know, they all want to be the 92. Make sure they've been to the 92, and I'm like, how are you getting tickets? How are you getting tickets? And I find that a little bit annoying as well. Why are you getting tickets? Or vloggers who are just
what my buddy is? One of my buddies talking about this before with
cholesterol,
with
diabetes,
very least. They're the least of my buddies. Is
he set dementia?
No,
fair enough.
No, I'd say Ginkgo biloba. I mean, that's never happened to me.
Cracking left back.
He's a good left back. Is the seat unique for like the derby?
Yeah.
Because the tourists will pay 800, 900 quid.
And then we'll fill them in. And then we'll fill them in.
They'll be murder.
Someone will fill them in.
But they'll be murder because they'll take a big chunk of those tickets. No problem. No problem. And that's a worry. I think Everton have got to be very careful with that. And
can't just do deals with the devil.
Don't get me wrong, all of these clubs have them. I mean, Evertonians could go to the Anfield derby and buy them for 800 quid for some, because they sell them at Anfield and they sell them at Tottenham, and all of the big clubs have these deals. But we just seem to have clunks of those seats in the West Ham were there again, the block opposite me. Like the 3 east. Rows with no one in
didn't you see the ones at the east, at the back, behind you?
I can I?
No, I sent you a picture. There was 2 big, massive...
Sorry, yeah.
What, do you see them, James? On the east.
I've seen it on... Yeah, you
the 2 big pieces at the
yeah.
You could see them at the top. There was loads...
They've been empty a few games, though.
There was loads in the corporate. There was loads in the corporate. There was loads. And there was loads... And in that west stand, which joins up with the south stand, there are loads of seat unique in there, and they're never full. And something needs to be done about it, because...
Aren't they mad, though, right? Because wouldn't it be better for... instead of saying than like 90 quid, wouldn't they be better on like a match day? Selling them for like 30 quid or 40 quid or something.
But wouldn't that devalue to a point where people would play a little bit of chicken on a match day?
But then they'd still get money, wouldn't they?
But I don't like this, and I think I said this.
Bat on a match day.
Yeah. I said this about the thing.
Don't announce it. No. Just check it. Yeah. So people that just go,
check it before you
I'll see.
Well, I said this about the lazy boys, and a few people shouted me down about, well, people are spending thousands, and it's like, yeah, but no one's going in them. They're not. They have
sold though, you know.
I know, but they're not going in them. So you need to make a distinction, don't you? What you want empty seats, and it looks really, really bad. Luckily enough for them,
they're not on telly though, are they?
But that's what I was about to say. But I just find it must be really annoying for people who can't go to every game, who are on the waiting list, who would have wanted a season ticket, and you're seeing all these seats available.
Well, we've got 31,500 on a waiting list, apparently. Then
But the thing about the season ticket is,
Dad doesn't took them.
well, that's the thing. The thing about it is though, and you probably know this. You might know this yourself. I don't know, but when you've got a season ticket, you can build your life around the season ticket, build your life around going to stuff. When you haven't, you might go, well, Everton are playing their own, but I haven't got a ticket, and someone's playing. Sam Fender might be playing or whatever, and you might go, well, I'm not going anyway, so I'll go to that other thing. It mightn't be something like that, because that might be something you'd missed the match for anyway. But it might be
something else.
I'm going to go this. And then a ticket might come available and you go, I've already committed to going to this thing. And that's the difference, isn't it? The difference is, loads of people are like,
it's a routine.
If they haven't got a ticket on before the day, then they're not going no matter what happens. No matter, I'm going to sit down and watch it, but I've already said I'm going to go to B&Q and I'm going to do this till the match is on, and then I'll do it after the match. It is a whole day experience for some people. And that's the problem, is like, people don't want to...
all day experience now.
People don't want to wait till Friday, till like, they'll go, I'll leave it till Friday night. If I haven't got a ticket, then I'll leave it. I'll just watch it in the house. And that's the problem. That's always going to be the problem. That's why with Everton, with season ticket holders, we do have, when people go and they have season tickets, they very rarely miss a game. And if they do miss a game, they had someone who would take that ticket off them, and that seat would always be full. We haven't had that so far, I don't think. And that's a problem.
A few of these. Jay Ratcliffe says, with regard to bringing in young lads like Barry, Dibbling and Ashney, etc., to develop, do you think the next 2 windows we need to go after players with a proven pedigree, 24 to 27?
They're the most expensive players.
I'm not sure they will, Jay, because I think the Friedkin ownership group like them. Well, they want assets on the pitch. They want saleable assets, like every club should have, really, because that's what keeps you going. That's how you develop into being a club where, I agree, some of them, and your big money might be on those 24 to 27 who are ready. But I do think you've always got to buy the ones that you might be able to flip. Ian the Blue says, Baz, after watching the 3 talking points on Sunday after the game, you mentioned why players coming inside. Do you think it was worth taking a chance on Tom Fellows? I know we were after him in January, but he goes on the outside. Yeah, he was 10 million quid and went to Southampton. In fact, he was less than 10 million, rising to 10 million. Now, he's had no assists and no goals for Southampton, so someone might say he's done fuck all then, has he? But he was an option.
Yeah,
I thought to come in the squad, he was a different option than what we had, Ian. Absolutely. So I think we need to look at that as well. I said before, with Tyler Dibbling, I've no doubt he'll develop into being a very good player for Everton. I think he's a good footballer. I'm just not sure he was what we needed.
I think it just
felt like we collected him. But that's okay if we develop him and he goes somewhere else. That's not an issue.
I think the most important thing is it's our timeline versus their timeline, isn't it?
Yeah.
And our timeline's going to be a lot shorter. But the most important thing in all of this is who bought the players, who signed off on the players. And if David Moyes signed off on the players, then he's obviously got a long-term plan for all these players, and there's no need to like sort of panic. It's like if he feels like Barry starting games and coming off at half time and coming on at half time or whatever, if he feels that's the best course and he actually has got a plan, let's get it right. We've bought players before with the manager no interest in playing them, and therefore they got pushed aside, or we sacked the manager and the next manager's like, I don't want this player, I have no interest in this player, I want all British players, or whatever it was. Moyes has got at least another year and a half in the job, just over a year and a half, in the job at least, which that might get extended. So he has got a plan for these players, you would imagine, and understood what he was buying. We don't quite understand what we were, because we look at Arsenal and go, why the fucking hell didn't we buy a proper left back who was ready to go? But he was like, well, no, we've got a decent left back and we'll just get on it. We'll get on with it.
Angus Kinnear said he signed off on everything.
Yeah.
So Neil H says lower South will be better with more in it when they go to 1.5 or 2. Well, he can't go to 2, Neil, because they didn't do the tread depth, even though they said they were going to at the start. But they can go to 1.5 in there, which will put another just under 3,000 in there, so that'll make a big difference. But yeah, pack them in, rip those seats out, offer people who don't want to stand up somewhere else in the ground, and get people in there who want to be in there and who want to be packed in tight and who want to create that atmosphere. Loads will want to go in there. If you genuinely say this is a standard, don't forget, There doesn't need to be any rule change for Everton to increase the capacity right now. All that needs to happen, or rather, what needs to happen, is the Safety Advisory Group, the SAG, has to sign off on it. So it's not really an Everton thing, it's somebody else. But I'd like Everton, and it won't be this season now, but I would certainly like Everton to be looking at this for next summer to try to get this signed off that they're going 1 to 1.5, and then take out the seats that are in there, put slightly smaller ones in there. They'll still be fine. They'll still be big enough, and you'll be 2 people in one sort of ear, and that'd make that end unbelievable. It's safe because, as we've mentioned before, you might have heard it, we stood on the yellow wall. In between, there's a bar here and a bar there. You can't be crushed. Therefore, it's so safe. It's more safe than I saw people jumping over seats on Sunday when we scored. It can be dangerous.
You can fall over a seat. You can't fall over a bar.
So you're there and you're in, and therefore packed in, and that area is just standing. Then people will go, I'll go in. I want to stand, and it'll be unbelievable in there. And then that is where
make it affordable,
and you make it affordable for people, and people want to get in there. The people who are in there now and who thought, hang on, I didn't realise I was signing up to having to stand up. That's fine. Offer them, offer them somewhere else. Rehouse them somewhere else. That's the way it is. He says at the moment there's more noise with the prawn sandwich brigade where I sit, but he says when they do increase it, there'll be a buzz in there. It's a little bit Park End at the moment. Okay. Stuart Whitley says, I've noticed being in both the South Lower and the Upper North, it seems to take time for the songs to come round the stadium, and it's a bit out of sync by the time it reaches the North Stand. That's because the ground's massive, isn't it? Really. Danny says, never left the game early in my life, even when we got chonked by the red shite. 5-0. I don't understand why people go. You should be able to give them a slap on the way out if they go in the last 10 minutes. I didn't leave that 5. I was a kid, to be fair, but I didn't leave that 5-0 either early, Danny. And we had 10 men from the 19th minute. Michael Kearney says, was surprised to see the bar open, the Upper South. Proper chill with a pint, with the win and a great view.
Boss, mate. It was great. It was absolutely great in there after the game. It's exactly what you want. Exactly what you want.
Michael also says, didn't know this till Sunday. I always wave my kids or my dad in through the turnstile. When you scan your ticket, it goes blue for adults, green for kids, and another colour for OAPs. And I've been puzzled why the green light doesn't go off for every ticket. Till I kicked off at the steward.
Did you kick off at the steward?
What are you kicking off at the stewards for?
I don't think the steward's paying any attention. I really don't.
My ticket was a child one.
They don't pay any attention.
Was
In
it?
fact, last week there was a fella.
Okay?
Yeah. No,
There was a chat.
saying.
Don't say that. Last week there was someone who was asking for help, and the stewards just shrugged their shoulders. I mean, I've been told a couple of stories about stewards shrugging the shoulders at a lot worse things at the weekend.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
one actual vile thing, which
Well, then just report the steward. That's what you
Yeah.
need to do. If they're shrugging the shoulders, they're
put
there
it this
to
way,
help.
it had to do with people using toilets that they shouldn't be using.
Well,
Again, which is
but therefore the steward needs reporting, like, and I'm not thinking, but that can't be right, can it? Steve Carlisle says, fellas, if you remember the Liver Buildings trip regarding the stadium offerings, the stay behind for tea time match was a key part of their strategy. That's what they told us. Remember that?
They've forgotten quite a few of the things that were key. Don't forget, I think it's still on Dan Meis's website that this grant could be 60,000. 62,000. I mean, we can't really say any more, but maybe a conversation was had while somebody was in this room about it. That we can't say any more about. But, well, if you watched the video in the first few hours, you would have seen it anyway.
No, but the whole thing about it is, you're right, Steve, that's what was said at the time. It was like, yeah, what's Everton match? And then go in, have a drink, have a coffee, have a couple. The game will be on, just stay and let everyone disperse, enjoy it, spend your income. That's what we're planning for. And now, everywhere's shut, bar one bar, and then you're getting kicked out of that. They do need to review that. They really do. Danny says, I got a begging email off Everton on Saturday night to go, and ended up getting a ticket at 11 o'clock on Sunday, thanks to Emma.
Brilliant.
Because it fucked me off.
Brilliant.
Okay,
Anyway.
well, there you go. Right, that's us done.
See you
Well, that was a
tomorrow.
different Live at 5. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.